There's matter in these sighs. These profound heaves. You must translate. Right, 'tis fit we understand them. Where's your son?
Oh, my dear Lord, what have I seen?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is the mightier. In his lawless fit, behind the arras, hearing something stir, he whips out his rapier, cries, a rat, and in his brainish apprehension kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, heavy deed. Right, it had been so with us, had we been there. Look, his liberty is full of threats. To all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how may this bloody deed be answered? It will be laid to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of haunt this mad young man. But so much was our love, we would not understand. Now, where's he gone?
To draw apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal's base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. Look, the sun no sooner shall the mountains touch, but we will ship him hence. And this vile deed we must with all our majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Oh, Guildenstern! Friends, both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go, speak him fair, and bring the body into the chapel. Now, I pray you, haste in this. Now, Gertrude, come away. We'll call up our wisest friends to let them know both what we mean to do and what's untimely done. Now, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Safely stowed. What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Ah, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust where to 'tis kin.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what, my lord?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge. What replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his rewards, his authorities, but such officers do the king best service in the end. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you, and sponge you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I'm glad of it. A knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
The body is with the king, but the king is not with the body. The king's a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide fox. And all after!
Sent to seek him and to find the body. Now, how dangerous is it that this man goes loose? Yet must not we put the strong law on him? He's loved of the distracted multitude, who like not with their judgments but their eyes. Now, this sudden sending him away must seem deliberate pause. Disease is desperate grown, with desperate appliance are relieved, or not at all. How now, what hath befallen?
Where the dead body is bestowed, my lord, we cannot
Where's
get
he?
from him. Without, my lord, guarded, to know your pleasure.
Bring him before us.
Ho! Guildenstern! Bring in my lord!
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are e'en at him.
Alas, alas.
A man may fish with the worm that hath eat of a king, and eat of the fish that hath fed off that worm.
What do you mean by this?
Nothing but to show you how a king may go a progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not this month, you will nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him. There.
He will stay till you come.
Hamlet, this deed, for thy especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve, for this which thou hast done must send thee hence with fiery swiftness. Therefore, prepare yourself. The bark is ready, the wind at help, the associates tend, and everything is bent for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it if you knew our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees him. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Mother and father is man and wife is one flesh, and so my mother. But come. For England!
Following close. Tempt him with speed abroad. Deny it not. I'll have him hence tonight. In England, if my love you hold at aught, you pay homage to us. Thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters conjuring to that effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England. For like the hectic in my blood, he rages, and thou must cure me till I know 'tis done. Howe'er my haps, my joys were ne'er begun.
Go, captain, from me greet the Danish king. Tell him that by his license, Fortinbras claims the conveyance of a promised march over his kingdom.
I will do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her mood will needs be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father, says she hears there's tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it and botch the words that fit to their own thoughts.
Oh, let her come in. To my sick soul, her sin's true nature is. Each toy seems prologue to some great amiss.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
Oh, now, Ophelia.
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandals shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark! White his shroud as the mountain snow, larded all with sweet flowers,
Alas, look here,
which
my lord.
bewept to the grave, did not go with true love showers.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God healed you. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
conceit upon her father.
Pray you, let's have no words on this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and upped the chamber door. Let in the maid, let out a maid, never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia!
Indeed, law, without an oath I'll make an end on't. By jizz and by St. Charity, alack and fie for shame! Young men will do it when they come to it. By cock, they are to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So would I done by yonder sun, if thou hadst not come to my bed.
How long has she been
I
thus?
hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night.
Yeah, follow her close. Give her careful watch, I pray you. This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spice, but in battalions. First her father's...
What noise is this?
Save yourself, my lord!
What's the matter?
Young Laertes in a rider's head, or bears your officers.
Where's
the
my
rabble call him Lord. The great choose we Laertes shall be king. Caps, hands, and tongues applaud it to the clouds. Laertes shall be king. Laertes king.
Where is the king? Sir, statue or without, I pray you give me leave. Oh, thou vile king! Give me my father!
Calmly, good Laertes.
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot, even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What's the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Why art thou thus incensed?
Where is my father?
Dead, but not by him.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with! To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, I dare damnation! To this point I stand, let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most throughly for my father.
Good, Laertes. If you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, right, is't written your revenge, that swoop stake you must draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Would you know them then?
To his good friends, thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican, repast them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment peer as day does to your eye.
Oh, now what noise is that? Oh, heat. Dry up my brains. Tears, 7 times salt. Burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. Dear maid. Kind sister. Sweet Ophelia. Oh, heavens. Is possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, nonny, nonny, hey, nonny. And on his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits,
and didst persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
There's rosemary for you. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. There is pansies. That's for thoughts.
A document in madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you. And columbine. There's rue for you. And here's some for me. We may call it herb of grace a Sundays. You must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would give you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. For bonny, sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself. She turns to favour and to prettiness.
And will he not come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. All flaxen was his poll. He is gone. He is gone. And we, cast away, moan. God have mercy on his soul, and on all Christian souls. I pray God, God be with you.
Do you see this? Oh, God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief. Or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom the wisest friends you will. And they will hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our life, our crown, yea, all that we call ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we will jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure burial. No trophy, sword, nor hatchment of his bones cry to be heard, as to heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. Now, I pray you, go with me.
God bless you, sir.
Let him bless thee too.
He shall, sir. And please him. There's a letter for you, sir. Comes from the ambassador that was bound for England. Oh. If your name be Horatio, as I am let to know it is.
Thank you. Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give these fellows some means to the king. They have letters for him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of sail, we put on a compelled valour, and in the grapple I boarded them on the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy, but they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I have sent, and repair thou to me with as much haste as thou wouldst fly death. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowest thine. Hamlet. Come, I will give you way for these your letters, and do it the speedier that you may direct me to him from whom you brought them.
Now you must put me in your heart for friend. was that you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he that hath thy noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you proceeded not against these feats?
Oh, well, for two special reasons, which may to you perhaps seem much unsinewed, and yet to me they're strong. The queen, his mother, look, she lives almost by his looks, and for myself, be it my virtue or my plague, she's so conjunctive to my life and soul, that as a star moves not, but in its sphere, I could not but by her. And the other motive, why to the public count I might not go, is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affections, that convert his chives to graces.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Oh, break not your sleeps for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I loved your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to... What is the news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet.
Oh, Hamlet. Laertes, you shall hear them. But leave us. High and mighty, you shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasions of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet, from England, is it possible, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
What is Hamlet's character? Naked. And in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me in it?
I'm lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness in my heart that I may live and tell him to his teeth, thus didst thou.
Laertes, will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you'll not overrule me to a peace.
Now, if he be now returned, I will work him to an exploit, now ripe in my device, under the which he cannot choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled.
Look, you've been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for equality, for art and exercise in your defence, and for your rapier most especially, wherein they say you shine. Sir, this report did Hamlet so envenom in his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play with him. Now, out of this...
What out of this, my lord?
Was your father dear to you? Or are you like a painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you
Well,
this?
not that I think you did not love your father, but Hamlet's returned. What would you undertake to prove yourself your father's son, indeed, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church!
Revenge should have no bounds, but good Laertes, will you do this? Right, you keep close within your chamber. Now, Hamlet's returned, he'll know you are come home. Now, I will set on those, shall praise your excellence, will bring you in fine together. Now, he being most generous and free from all contriving, he will not peruse the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you might choose a sword unbaited, and in a pass of practice, requite him for your father.
I will do it. And to that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank. I'll touch my point with this contagion. Then if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
But let's think further of this. Right, if this should fail, and through our bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. I have it. When in your motion you're hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, wherein but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. Oh, how now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh. Where?
There is a willow grows askant the brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, which liberal shepherds give a grosser name. But our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her crownet weeds, clambering to hang, an envious sliver broke. When down the weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide. And mermaid-like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element, but long it could not be, for that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay, to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia. Therefore I forbid my tears. But yet I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
Let's follow Gertrude. Look how much I had to do to calm his rage. Now this, I fear, will give it further start again. Therefore, let's follow.
In youth, when I did love, methought it was a very sweet to contract the time for my behove. Methought there was nothing amiss.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
Tis e'en so. The hand of little employment hath the daintiest sense.
But age with his stealing steps hath caught me in his clutch. Hand hath shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if to a caned jawbone that did the first murder. It might be the pate of a politician, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Pickaxe and a spade for and a shrouding sheet. A bit of clay for to be made for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why might not that be the skull of a lawyer? Why does he suffer this rude knave now to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel and will not tell him of his action of battery? I'll speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
Yeah, well, you lie out on it, therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say 'tis thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick, therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, 'twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Oh, of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last king, Hamlet, or came forth in brass.
How long is that since?
Oh, cannot you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. You know, he that was mad and sent into England.
Ay, marry, why was he sent into England?
Oh, because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, 'tis no great matter there.
Why?
Well, 'twill not be seen in him there. The men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
Oh, very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, in with losing his wits.
Upon what grounds?
Here, in Denmark.
How long may a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Well, if he be not rotten before he die, as we have many pocky corpses nowadays, he'll last you some 8 year, 9 year. A tanner, he'll last you 9 year.
Why he more than any other?
Oh, his hide, sir. It's so tanned with his trade. It will keep out water a great while, and your water, sordid care of your horse and dead body. Hey, here's a skull now. This skull hath lain in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
Horse and mad fellas it was. Whose do you think it was?
No, no, not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. he poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Sir Yorick's skull. The King's Jester!
This?
In that!
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred my imagination is, my gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar, not one now to mock your own jeering, quite chop-fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favour she must come. Make her laugh at that. To what base uses we may return, Horatio?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot. But soft aside! Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is it they follow?
What ceremony else?
That is Laertes, a very noble youth, mark.
What ceremony else?
Her obsequies have been as far enlarged as we have warranties. Her death was doubtful. And but the great command o'ersways the order, she should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead, to sing sage requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Nair in the earth! And from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violets spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What, the fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hoped thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not to have strewed thy grave.
Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in my arms. Now, pile your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made, to overtop old Bellion.
What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet the Dane.
The devil take thy soul!
Sir! Prithee, take thy fingers!
Sir,
silent upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
Oh, my son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
He is mad. Laertes!
For love of God, forbear him.
Show me what wilt thou do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, drink up Isel, eat a crocodile. I'll do it. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I.
This is mere madness.
What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever.
Ha ha!
But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray you, Horatio. Wait upon him. Look, strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. Right, we'll put the matter to the present push. Gudrid, set some watch over your son. Look, this grave will have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other. You do remember all the circumstance?
Oh, remember it, my lord.
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. There's a divinity that shapes our ends. Rough hew them how we will. Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me in the dark. Groped I to find out them, had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine, withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, royal knavery, an exact command that on the supervised, no leisure baited, no not to stay the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
It's possible.
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure, but wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, I sat me down, devised a new commission. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good, my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, that on the view and know of these contents, without debatement further more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Aye, even in that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse. Now, the next day was our sea fight, and what to this was sequent thou knowest already.
So, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to it.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience.
Why, what a king is this?
Is it not, thinks thee, stand me now upon? He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage, it's not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm.
It must be shortly known to him from England. What is the issue of the business
It will
there?
be short, the interim's mine, and a man's life is no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious.
Sweet lord, if your friendship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, 'tis very hot. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is the card and calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman...
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
Of him, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is at his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but, well...
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between you and him, he shall not exceed you in 3 hits. He hath on't 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in this hall. Tell his majesty 'tis the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours, yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I bring in continual practice. I will win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit. We defy augury. There's a special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man has aught of what he leaves, what is to leave betimes? Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. But pardoned as you are a gentleman, this presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done that might your nature, honour, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wrong, Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not, Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness.
I'm satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge, but in my terms of honour, I stand aloof and will no reconcilement, till by some elder masters of known honour I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungawed, but till that time, I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I do embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils. Come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance, your skill shall like a star in the darkest night stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give him the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds of the weaker side.
Oh, no, I do not fear it. No, I have seen you both, and since that he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set the stoops of wine upon the table. Now, if Hamlet give the first or second hit, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me a cup. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One.
No.
Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet. Well, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first, set it by a while. Come. Another hit, what say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin. Wipe thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
Oh, I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It's too late. It's the poison cup.
I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by.
Let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I don't think so.
And yet 'tis almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on.
Nothing! Neither way!
How at you now? Ah!
Depart them there and sense!
No, come again!
Look at the Queen there! Oh!
They bleed on both sides. How is my lord?
How is Laertes?
Like a woodcock to mine own spring, Josric. I am justly killed by mine own treachery.
How does the Queen?
Oh, she swoons to see him bleed.
No, the drink. The drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy. How? Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand unbaited, and envenomed the foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
The point in venom too. Then venom. To thy worst!
No, help me, friends, I'm but hurt.
Here thou, incestuous, murderous, damned Dane! Drink of this potion is thy union here. Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not on thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched Queen. Adieu. Had I but time, as this foul sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I'm dead. Thou lives. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I'm more an antique Roman than a Dane. Who's yet some liquor
Let
left.
a man give me the cup. Let go! By heaven, I'll have it, oh good Horatio! What a wounded name! Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou dost ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras with conquest come from Poland to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike folly.
I die! Horatio! The potent poison quite o'ercrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice, so tell him, with the occurrence more and less, which have solicited. The rest is silence.
No, cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is this sight?
What is it ye would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
This quarry cries on havoc, O proud death! What feast is toward in thine eternal cell, that thou so many princes as a shot so bloodily hast struck?
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing. To tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth, and in the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. But since so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars and you from England are here arrived, give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view, and let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about, so shall you hear of carnal, bloody, and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of death put on by cunning.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow, I embrace my fortune. Bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally. And for his passage, the soldier's music and the rights of war speak loudly for him. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.